Fly with me, little butterflies.
You cannot stop me.
I have to try.
You messed up again!
It's not my fault!
The desert never keeps secrets, nor does it keep regrets.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the biggest leap in open source video generation so far, LTX 2.5. This model isn't just an upgrade from LTX 2.3, it's a completely rebuilt foundation designed for real production pipelines, real cinematic quality, and real creator control. LTX 2.5 introduces a brand new diffusion video decoder that delivers cleaner motion, fewer artifacts, and pixel-level fidelity that holds up even on a cinema screen. It now supports native multi-shot scenes, meaning you can generate multiple connected shots in one pass, keeping characters, lighting, environments, and even voice consistent across cuts. This is something no other open-weights model has done at this level. You also get stronger prompt understanding thanks to the new Gemma 412B text encoder, automatic clip duration, beta-precise video editing, and full 4K HDR plus RAW workflows for professional finishing. And here's the crazy part. On 2xGB 200 GPUs, LTX 2.5 can generate a 10-second 720p video in just 6.8 seconds, faster than real time. Plus, it ships with a pre-trained base checkpoint built specifically for fine-tuning, so you can adapt the model to your own domain and deploy it on your own infrastructure. In today's tutorial, I'll show you how to install LTX 2.5, run it locally, generate your first multi-shot cinematic sequence. Your AI filmmaking era starts now. If you're new to my channel, I've already made a full tutorial on how to install and use LTX 2.3. So if you haven't watched that yet, make sure to check it out on my channel. It will help you understand the foundation before diving into LTX 2.5. Let's move on to the actual installation and setup. First, go to the ComfyUI official website. On the homepage, you'll notice that ComfyUI offers both a desktop version and a cloud version. For this tutorial, we'll use the desktop version to run everything directly on your computer. If your hardware is not powerful enough or you prefer not to manage local resources, the cloud version is also a good option, but it is a paid service. After downloading the desktop version, run the installer. You can simply follow the default settings and click Next until the installation is complete. Once ComfyUI launches, keep all settings at their default values if this is your first installation. If you already have ComfyUI installed, click the Update button to make sure your version is 0.30 or higher. As you can see, I just updated mine to version 0.32.0. After entering the All Templates panel in ComfyUI, search for LTX 2.5, and you'll see all the available workflows. Let's start by opening LTX 2.5 text to image. Right away, you'll notice a red error box. Click View Error Details and you'll see 6 missing models. Normally, in modern ComfyUI templates, if you see missing models, you can simply click Download All, super convenient. But this time, something different happens. ComfyUI downloads one model, and the other 5 models are locked. You'll see the message, some models are gated. To download them, you need to sign in to Hugging Face and accept the model license agreement. So let's go to Hugging Face. Search LTX 2.5, and you'll find the official model page with all files and documentation. You can log in from here, or simply click the Login button at the top right. I'll place all the links in the video description for easy access. Click Files and Versions. This is where all the missing models are located, organized into folders. 1. Diffusion Models folder. Here you'll see both dev models and distilled models. Dev models, used mainly for training, slower, requires 32 to 38 sampling steps. Distilled models, recommended for daily use, faster, requires 24 to 30 sampling steps, reduces generation time by 20 to 30%. So for most users, choose LTX 2.5 22B distilled transformer comfy int 8 convert safe tensors. File size 21.5 gigabytes. Make sure your GPU VRAM can handle it. If your GPU memory is low but you already installed CUDA 13, you can try LTX 2.5 Dev INT4 W4A8 LTX 2.5 safe tensors. File size 15.4 gigabytes. 2. Latent upscale models folder. Download LTX 2.5 latent spatial upscaler X2BF 16 1.0 safe tensors. File size 996 megabytes. This model doubles the resolution in both width and height, not by stretching the image, but by regenerating details and fixing blur. 3. Text encoders folder. Download Gemma 412B with Proj LTX 2.5 comfy int 8 convert safe tensors. File size 15.4 gigabytes. This is the native LTX 2.5 text encoder with INT8 quantization. It understands long prompts much better, but uses more VRAM. 4. VE folder. Download both LTX 2.5 audio VBF 16 safe tensors, 365 megabytes. LTX 2.5 video VBF 16 safe tensors, 1.47 gigabytes. These VAEs handle audio and video decoding for LTX 2.5 workflows. After downloading, place the files into Diffusion Models folder, Latent Upscale Models folder, Text Encoders folder, V folder. Make sure you don't mix up the folders. Restart Comfy UI, reopen the workflow, and the errors should be gone. When you open the workflow, look at the left side of the canvas. This entire section is the LTX information panel. It gives you a quick overview of the model, how to use the workflow, and all the important links you might need. You'll find a general introduction to LTX 2.5, instructions on how this workflow is designed to be used, direct links to every required model file, a clear list showing which folder each model belongs to, and a report issue. If you ever feel unsure about a node, a model, or a folder path, this panel is the fastest place to check. Think of it as your built-in documentation. Everything you need is right here inside the workflow. LTX 2.5 has a strict requirement. Both width and height must be multiples of 32. If your numbers don't match, this node automatically rounds them to the nearest valid value. This prevents errors, black borders, and distorted frames. Next, we have the aspect ratio options: 16 by 9, 9 by 16, 1 by 1, and more. This determines the shape of your video, landscape, portrait, ultrawide, or square. Below that is the megapixels parameter. The default value is 0.9 MP. With a 16 to 9 aspect ratio, the resolution selector calculates the output size as 1280 by 738, aligned to multiples of 32. If you're not completely sure about your hardware, or you're worried about running out of VRAM, here's the safest workflow. Start by lowering the megapixels value. For example, set it to 0.5 megapixels. Generate a short test clip first, check the quality, and then slowly increase the value. This is especially important when generating longer videos like 15 seconds. In my case, I set megapixels to 0.5, and the resolution selector calculates the output size as 960 by 544. Next, delete the default prompt provided by the workflow and paste your own prompt. The duration here is set to 5 seconds, but my prompt specifies 6 seconds, and I also added a short negative prompt. You'll notice there's an option called Prompt Enhance, currently set to True. Hit Run. If you click into the subgraph, you'll see that the official workflow uses a VLM model to enhance your prompt automatically. But keep in mind, this VLM model consumes an additional 6 to 7 gigabytes of VRAM during generation. So if your GPU memory is limited, it's better to turn off prompt enhancement and set this option to false. Here is the result. Aside from a little softness at the beginning, the overall visual quality is quite good. The background music matches the camera's zoom in movement, and the atmosphere feels natural. For this 5-second clip, The generation time was 1 minute and 6 seconds. Next, I increased the megapixels to 0.9 and ran the workflow again. This time, the image quality improved significantly. The character's skin looks much more realistic, the lighting and objects have richer texture, and the girl's subtle facial expression at the end is beautifully preserved. Even the audio feels more cinematic and layered compared to the first clip. And here's the interesting part. This second video only took 19 seconds to generate, much faster than the first one. That's because the first run had to load all LTX 2.5 models into memory, which takes extra time. Once the models are loaded, subsequent runs become much faster. Now let's generate a 10-second video. I paste the following prompt: 10-second American Western punk movie clip, static close-up shot, female ranger stares at the sunset, wind blows hair slightly, dust floats dynamically, low voice monologue with natural lip movement. Monologue. The desert never keeps secrets, nor does it keep regrets. Natural sunset light dynamic change, film grain texture, stable high-definition picture. Just change the duration to 10. Megapixels remains at 0.9, and everything else stays the same. The generation took about 1 minute. This time, because I added a synchronized monologue in the prompt.
The desert never keeps secrets, nor does it keep regrets.
The character's micro-expressions and lip movement are almost perfectly natural. The entire video follows the prompt very closely. The lighting, the environment, the Western-style color palette, everything matches the cinematic mood. Next, I open LTX 2.3 and use the exact same prompt. I adjust the resolution to 1920 by 1080, duration 10 seconds, and run it. This one took 2 minutes and 8 seconds. But remember, generation time varies depending on your GPU, VRAM, RAM, and overall system configuration.
The desert never keeps secrets, nor does it keep regrets.
The result is also impressive. It follows the prompt accurately, the lip sync is very good, and the lighting and environment have a strong cinematic feel. It even adds camera panning and zoom out effects automatically. The only noticeable difference is the audio. LTX 2.3's sound feels slightly weaker and less cinematic compared to LTX 2.5. Now let's take a look at LTX 2.5 image to video. Open the template and just like before, the left panel contains all the LTX 2.5 documentation, model links, folder paths, usage notes, and troubleshooting. If you're ever unsure about anything, this panel is your reference guide. I upload an image, this time an anime-style illustration, and paste my prompt. For image to video, you can describe the motion very clearly. What the character does from second 1 to second 3, what happens from second 3 to second 6, what they say, how the environment moves, etc. The model follows your prompt closely, so the more precise your description, the better the result. I also add a short negative prompt at the end. You can use my prompt as a reference to write your own. I set the duration to 6 seconds. Remember, the video resolution is based on the size of the image you upload, so always use a high-quality image. In the resolution selector, I change the aspect ratio to 916, megapixel stays at 0.9. As mentioned earlier, if this is your first time running LTX 2.5 and you're unsure about your VRAM, start with 0.5 MP and test. Then gradually increase megapixels and duration until you find the maximum stable value your system can handle. Don't start with 0.9 or 1.0 MP and long durations, that's how you get VRAM crashes. Run the workflow. Inside the subgraph, the structure is almost identical to text to video, including the prompt enhance option. If your GPU memory is small, turn prompt enhancement off. The generation took 1 minute and 40 seconds. The result is calm, peaceful, and beautifully animated. The flowers in the foreground and background move naturally, the rabbit and the character have smooth motion, and the camera adds gentle close-up movement. Only a few frames at the end show slight rain-like artifacts, but overall the result is excellent. Comparing with LTX 2.3. In LTX 2.3, you must manually set the resolution. Using the same prompt, the first generated video only animates the character and the rabbit. The flowers remain static. The hand color rendering is also a bit strange. On the second attempt, the flowers finally move, but the hand rendering still looks off. This shows how much LTX 2.5 improves motion consistency and color fidelity. Now let's try the first last frame to video. Open the template. Again, the left panel contains all the LTX 2.5 information. This workflow requires 2 images. One for the first frame, one for the last frame. I upload 2 baby photos. You can follow the official prompt examples to write your own. Prompt enhancement is available here as well. Turn it on or off depending on your VRAM. I set the duration to 6 seconds, adjust the resolution, and hit run. Generation time, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. The first few seconds of the generated video look great. The baby turns their head naturally, and the hair lighting is very realistic. However, in the middle section, the fingers become slightly deformed, and toward the end, the last frame overlaps with the previous one. The face also remains static, so the transition isn't very smooth. I generated a second baby video using the same first and last frame workflow. And this time the result is much better. The motion feels natural, the expressions are smooth, and it even includes synchronized speech, even though I didn't write any dialogue in the prompt. The baby looks adorable, and there are almost no visible overlaps between the 2 images. Overall, this clip is extremely clean and close to perfect. This shows how powerful LTX 2.5 can be when the images align well and the model interprets the prompt correctly. Sometimes AI video generation surprises you in the best way. I generated another video using a different pair of first and last frame images. This time, even though the 2 images still overlap, the repetition creates a surprisingly good effect, almost like a montage transition you'd see in a film. If you haven't installed or used MiniMax H3, the free and unlimited video generation tool, make sure to watch my previous tutorial, how to install and use MiniMax H3 for multimodal reference image video generation. MiniMax H3 can generate similar results, and in some cases even better ones, so feel free to try it as well. Just follow my installation tutorial, and you'll be able to run it on your own machine with no limits on video generation. If you haven't installed MiniMax H3 yet, make sure to check out my step-by-step guide on my channel. It will walk you through everything you need to get started. AI-generated video can sometimes produce unexpected results, but ultimately, your prompt controls the direction. So improving your prompt writing skills is essential. That's all for today's walkthrough of LTX 2.5. From text to video, image to video, first and last frame generation, and even comparing it with LTX 2.3. I hope this tutorial helped you understand how to control motion, lighting, transitions, and prompt design, so you can create even more cinematic AI videos. If you enjoyed this breakdown, remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. And I'd really love to hear your
Fly
thoughts,
with me,
your
little
tests,
butterflies.
your results, your questions. So feel free to leave a comment in the comment section. Your feedback helps me make better tutorials for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.
You cannot stop me.
I have to try.
You messed up again!
It's not my fault!
The desert never keeps secrets, nor does it keep regrets.